To this morning's meeting. Can I just find out, Mr. Kutsia, are we quorate?
Good morning, Chairperson. We are. We may proceed with the meeting.
Thank you so much. If we can just begin by asking all members of the Provincial Parliament who are online, as well as members of the Executive. We have Minister Bradell. If we can just start with the members, if you can please just introduce yourselves and we can then move on. We also have member Gillian Bosman, who will be standing in as later on in the meeting. I unfortunately have to step out, so he will be present as an additional member filling in for me. If we can start, Member Masipa, if you want to introduce yourself.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, Chairperson. My name is Nogo Masipa. I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Other members?
Good morning, Chair. Derek Wessels, and I'm a member of the committee.
Good morning, Chairperson. Morning, MEC. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Noel Constable, and I am a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Beauty Stoffels, a member of the committee.
Morning, Chairperson. Morning, Minister. Good morning, everyone online. I'm Peter Johnson. I am a member of this committee.
Good morning, Chair. This is Grant Murray. I'm present and I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Morning, Chairperson, and morning, everybody. I'm Member Boyson and I'm an alternate member of this committee.
Good morning, Chairperson. Gillian Postman, an alternate on this committee.
Thank you very much. And then we obviously have Minister Bradell and his team, and we will get to that in a second. Do we have any apologies, Mr. Kutsia?
Chairperson, no apologies. We are full house.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, I just want to start by welcoming everybody to what is going to be the first one of these meetings where we are looking at the appropriation budget, and I think it is great for us to start off on a good note with all members present, including an additional member, which is fantastic. I would just like to, before we start, just remind members that there is no other there are no other items on the agenda. There are no other matters aside from the matter at hand. So I would appreciate it if all members could respect that, so that we can focus on the matter at hand and the agenda for today's meeting. And there are no other items that will be accepted in terms of being raised, obviously, unless it is a point of order. In terms of introductions for the meeting, we have Minister Bradell, we have Mr. Paulser, the Head of Department, Ms. Zabkaka, the Chief Director, Ms. Schreling, the Chief Director of Municipal Performance Monitoring, Mr. Colin Diner, the Chief Director of Disaster Risk Management, Ms. Suwalal Singh, the Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Dwengu, who is the Director of Policy and Strategic Support. So if we can then move on to the only item which is on the agenda, or the main item, which is the deliberation on vote 14 of local government. And this is all contained in pages 353 to 370 in the Blue Book. We will ask the department to give us a short briefing on vote 14, after which members will then be able to pose questions of clarity to the department on the appropriations, and we will then take any inputs by members of the public if they are present. After that, we will do the closing remarks by the Minister and or the HOD. So, colleagues, if we can then move on to that item. As mentioned, I may need to slip off the meeting, in which case, if the committee has no objection to it, Honourable Masipa will just take over to facilitate the process of questions and closing off. But I'll hand over then to Minister Bradell and his team. Thank you.
Honourable Chair, honourable members of the Standing Committee, HOD Paulse and the team, thank you for the opportunity. Just before I start, Honourable Chair and members of the committee, I do have signal problems. So if there's any problem, I will then move over to my cell phone. Thank you for the opportunity to present the discuss vote 14 adjustment for the 24-25 financial year. And this is the first opportunity for us to engage on this topic with you as new standing committee members. And I'm looking forward to a productive relationship with you as a standing committee. Before I hand over to HOD Paulse and the team to go through the technical details of the various adjustments, I would like to highlight just the following. We are going into a summer season now, and this places a focus on fire readiness and water management. We had a very good winter with lots of rain, so our dams are full. That's the good news. But it also means that there was lots of vegetation growth during the winter, which becomes potential fuel for wildfires during the dry and hot and windy summer months. So, Chair, with this in mind, I'm pleased to see that the additional 3 million rand for integrated fire management being allocated to the department, as well as we're also thankful for the additional 3 million rand for any water challenges we may experience during especially the busy holiday season. Remember, especially our coastal towns, they do suffer during this period because lots of people will go to the beaches, etc. We also receive an additional 1 million rand for water awareness campaigns, use water sparingly. With those few words, I'm now going to hand over to HOD Paulse and the team to take us through the technical adjustments. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Chairperson and honourable members on the platform, Minister and colleagues. Just some of the highlights, and to connect to Minister Bradell, just the net effect of the adjustments is about 3.1 million. So the original budget was about 4.4 million, and that was adjusted downwards to 437, with a net effect of 3 million, 3.1. Minister has spoken about the additional 7 million. So if you look at the pluses and the minuses, the Provincial Treasury has allowed us to use the funding about 7 million that we have actually reduced the budget by, to use that in the current financial year, with the understanding that they will give the 7 million back in the 25-26 financial year. And as the Minister has indicated, is for the 1 million is for water, the 3 million is for integrated fire management, and Colin can provide more information, but it's about fire breaks in the various districts, but also to prevent the fell fires. And obviously the 3 million is to assist with the water challenges. We know during the December and January period, there is an influx of citizens to the coastal towns. And we have evidence in the past that normally some of these towns do struggle with the availability of water and the management of water. And therefore, we've, in preparation of the summer season, have allocated funding to municipalities to provide a level of readiness to deal with some of these challenges if they occur during the summer period. So that has been additional 7 million that the Provincial Treasury has allowed us to use. We also got a 2.5 million from the Treasury in the current financial year, and that is to assist with investigations into allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration. It came at a very late stage. We have suggested to the Provincial Treasury to reallocate that funding in the next financial year, and that is 25-26. And that will happen. They have actually agreed to it. And then there's some funding, Chairperson, that we have allocated, asked the Provincial Treasury to reallocate over the 25-26 financial year, and we can go in the detail of that. We've also, particularly in earmark funding in energy, we've surrendered about 1.4 million. The other shifts, Chairperson, is around savings on the COE. And obviously, given the pressure on the budget, particularly COE, we've shifted that funding to cover the pressures, particularly from the CDW program in that regard. So the 3.1 million, Chairperson and honourable members, is just the net effect of the pluses and the minuses and the technical adjustments contained in the budget. Can I ask, Chairperson, with your permission, perhaps if Bhavna want to add to the initial introduction? Thank you.
Good morning. There's nothing further from me, HOD. I'll just take any of the technical questions if they come about. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, Chairperson.
Apologies. Sorry. Good morning, Minister, once again, and HOD. Colleagues, you have received the overview from the Minister as well as the HOD. If there are any questions, I think the way that I think we should work is that we just work page by page. Can I just ask on page 193, are there any questions? Once, going twice. Members don't have a question. Page 194 and 195, payments and estimates per program and pay economic classification, which continues, and the details of adjustments to the estimates of the provincial expenditures as they are outlined there. Are there any questions? I see a hand of Honorable Stoffels. Honorable Stoffels.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairperson.
Yes.
Am I audible?
You are audible, ma'am. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning, members of the Provincial Parliament, colleagues, and also the members online, and also our guest in the gallery in together with us today. Chair, sorry for my voice. I'm a bit got flu. Chair, before we go to the question issue, I just want to comment on the introduction of the MEC and also the HOD, if you can allow me that.
Yes, you can go
yes.
ahead, Honorable Stoffel. I've given an opportunity to comment on the introduction, and there was no hand, and that's why I moved to the document. But you're welcome to go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for that opportunity. Chairperson, once again, good morning. First of all, I want to thank the MEC and also the HOD and his entire team. Really, we could see there's really some efforts from the department in terms of addressing some issues. And also, thank you for the introduction in terms of the additional funds added to the department. And also, thank you for highlighting what is it going to cover in terms of the way forward. But what I wanted to raise in terms of the introduction regarding this budget vote, first of all, allow me, Chairperson, as the African National Congress, to express our violent objection to the manner in which the budget adjustment is being rushed. As much as the MEC is saying that, but the way it's been done, the rush of it, this shows disregard and undermining of the role of the Parliament to its oversight on budget matters, including allowing sufficient engagement and quality interrogation by both from members and public. And this is what we want to raise, Chairperson, without any time wasting. And I want that to be recorded. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Your concern are noted, but let me just also indicate that we scheduled this meeting for 1.5 hours, so there is enough time to engage on the budget. And as well, you have got a blue book that was provided to all members to actually just go through the blue book to interrogate the budget that has been presented. So I do not know about the rush, but for now, safe to say that you've got a blue book in front of you right now as we are speaking, where you can go to page 193 to up till page 215. And that will really help the member to engage thoroughly with the minister. I don't think the minister is in a rush. He is here to actually entertain any question, and as well as the HOD. Thank you very much. But Honorable Kempfer, I saw your hand was up.
Good morning, Chairperson and colleagues, MEC. I am present, but I am on my way, so the network is not good. Thank you, Chair.
Noted. Thank you, Honorable Kempfer. I see Honorable Mare. Oh, sorry, is it Grant Paulsen?
Honorable Chairperson, thank you. I may be wrong, but I think you're making reference to page 191 or 193. In the Blue Book, it's about 14 from page 353. So I'm not sure whether the committee members have a different set of documents that we don't have. But in the Blue Book, it's about 14 is from page 353 onwards, Chairperson. I'm guided by you. Thank you.
Thanks. We on vote 14. Okay. Apologies. Yeah. Apologies. I'm having a vote 9. Apologies. I'm on vote 9. My apologies.
Honourable Chair, can I quickly come in?
Yes, Minister, thank you.
Yes, I agree with Honourable Member Stoffel. I do understand, because the budget process is the one crucial process that we need actually to get right. But I think from a standing committee perspective, I think all of us are a bit frustrated, but we must remember it's a whole system coming from top. So you can only start your system when you get the figures from national. I don't shame blame to anyone, but there's pressures and there's calls for years now that we need to get the timeline from national, provincial in the budget circulars right, so that we can have enough time to engage. And we always push this into a bottleneck. And then at the end of the day, we sit with decisions that people aren't comfortable with. So that can be also, I think, from the standing committee, the oversight committee is one of the proposals that we need to ask that the budget process, the time frames need to be respected. Otherwise, we don't do justice to the process. So I agree. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your recommendation is noted. We definitely will take it in our committee for deliberation to ensure that we have enough time in engaging on the chat vote. I note Honorable Constable's hand is up. Honorable Constable.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning again, colleagues. Chairperson, mine is not a difficult one. I'm looking at the shifting of funds between votes. And Mr. Paulse and the MEC is talking about investigative support, but there's no real detail with regards to what support is it and where is it. The question then is, will we have another opportunity before the distribution of funds go other way, or is this support only within the department itself? Second question, Chairperson, is also with regards to the water resilience program, and I understand that the MEC said that we had a very good
apologies, Honorable Stoffel. Constable. I note there is Sonia is flighting a slide here. Okay, thank you, Sonia. Okay, you can proceed. Apologies for that.
All right. On the water awareness issues, I also want the MEC and Mr. Paulson maybe to give us more detail with regards to the awareness. Will this be within municipalities, and will they at some stage come back to us to let us know where this awareness campaigns will happen, and what will be the role of province with the distribution of these funds? I will leave it for now. This is the two questions that I have for now, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Constable. Honorable Mare, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and good morning to the Minister and the members of this committee. I would like to also just thank Member Stoffel for raising that issue. I'm also a first-time member of this Parliament, and so there is many things to get to, and I also felt that this particular process is being rushed, as we have to familiarize ourselves with quite a lot of information in a very short space of time. But Chair, I would also just like to comment in terms of the Minister's opening remarks. I welcome the funding that is allocated to mitigate risks in terms of the fire risks that is now upon us. I also think that this is going to be a very hot summer due to climate change, and water security is going to be a very important focus for the next few months. And then, Chair, if we are going to move on, I would like to just ask the Minister or the HOD regarding the allocation of funds or reallocation of funds in terms of the George building collapse. I wanted to know in terms of whether that particular amount, what is it for? I know it's in terms of disaster management, but we haven't even received a report regarding the situation in terms of the George collapse. So how did they get to the figure allocated? I think it's 2.5 million allocated, and what exactly is it going to be used for? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Mare. Before I hand over to your Minister, on page 355, we talk about compensation of employees. Funds shifted to offset pressure on compensation of employees for community development worker program staff. That is 2.24 that is being shifted. But just maybe, for our own understanding, for members as well. The page 353, we talk about the amount to be appropriated. So there has been a decrease of 3.1 million rands as such. So that's the decrease. So maybe through you, Minister, and maybe officials, just to explain to members in terms of the amount in bracket, because where at the top it says it's decreased, But now, if you go further down to table 14.1, the amount in bracket, it says total additional appropriation. But at the top, it says it's a decrease. So just for members' clarity in terms of reading the appropriation adjustment as such, if you can just assist there. So with regards to compensation of employees, the funds has been shifted so to offset the pressure. So the question is, what's happening with the corporate services? Is it also taken care of? And if it's taken care of, how is that program being taken care of? Is there sufficient fund to continue with the corporate services program? Thank you, Minister and the HOD. I see Honorable Stoffel's hand is up. Before you answer, I will allow Honorable Stoffel maybe to just come in. Thank you. Honorable Stoffel.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, mine is also on the collapse building. Why is provincial government shifting money to pay consultants to investigate collapse building in George? And then also, in terms of HR issues, the constructive dismissal or reduction of staff, whilst the provincial government is arguing service delivery pressure due to increasing population that make you to argue for more equitable shares allocated from the national fiscal, and yet you are not employing, and this has been a trend. So why is that so? I thank you, Chair, for now.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffel. Over to you, Minister.
Chair, I think I'm going to allow the HOD to respond to the questions.
Honorable Chairperson, thank you very much. I've just jotted down the questions. So just in connection with the funding for the forensic services. So there's two amounts. You can see the 1.8 million is towards financing investigations where there were allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration. That came to the attention of the minister. And obviously, in terms of Section 106 of the Western Cape Monitoring and Support Act, the minister then needs to respond in terms of 105, 106, and 1.8 is for the actual investigations, appointing forensic investigators to do the work. So the other amount that we got from the Department of the Premier is a 2.5 million, and that is to strengthen the internal capacity within the department to appoint qualified and skilled and competent people that can assist with the assessments of the allegations, to determine the veracity of that, and then obviously to advise the minister on the way forward in terms of the findings as well as the recommendations. So that is internal to increase the capacity. So that is in relation to the question of the investigative support within the department. With regard to the water resilience, so there's about two aspects here, Honourable Chairperson. The one is about the funding. If you look at the transfers to municipalities, and Mares is on the platform, there's funding, there's allocations that we give to municipalities to strengthen the water resilience in the respective municipalities, like Beaufort West, like Prince Albert, Lensburg, and other municipalities, Cederberg, because that is in line with what we call the 15-year water resilience plan within the province, and based on the assessment. So we are responding in relation to the 15-year water plan, and therefore we are giving to municipalities to increase the water resilience, whether it's that by some demand management, supply management, or whether it's actually by the actual management of the water function within the municipalities. And we can go into detail about how do we allocate this funding and for what purpose it is. So the awareness raising, you can see there is a R1 million that we have set aside for water awareness. So It's actually a campaign where we raise awareness among citizens in the province how to use water sparingly. I mean, we had a drought in 2017 onwards, 18 and 19. And I think there is still a responsibility on us to raise consistent awareness about the use of water. We've done it last year. So some of the examples, Chairperson, is that the minister will go and do a recording in a studio, and we will then, via the Department of the Premier and their service provider, approach various radio stations in the province, and that sort of clip will play where the Western Cape government will then raise awareness to citizens around the use of water in the province. So that's one example. The others will be about the distribution of pamphlets in the various municipalities among citizens and so on. And the other example, in the main road arteries into the province, like the N7, the N2, the N1, at the roadblocks, we will collaborate with the traffic police and so on with municipalities. And there will be awareness campaigns where either the municipal staff together with other staff and the provincial staff will actually, when the vehicles are stopped and when citizens, particularly during December and January, enter our province, all the visitors from other provinces, they are stopped at these roadblocks, and just as they enter into the province, awareness will be raised. That is water scarce areas, so we advise you or ask you to use water sparingly, and then obviously there will be pamphlets given to the other citizens from other provinces that would enter the province. So that is around that, Chairperson, just the awareness of it, and just the reallocation to the George building, the collapse and so on. Myself, the minister, and the Premier, Colin, and others, we were at the George collapse building when it actually collapsed, or not collapsed, but subsequently after that. There was many discussions with the mayor, the accounting officer, the Michelle Grutch at the time, and so on. And based on a discussion, the provincial government then agreed to make a contribution to the expenditure in relation to George. So we then identified, given the contingency reserve that was in Program 1 within the department, that we could consider making a 2.5 million contribution to the expenditure of the George collapse building. So the thing is, it was in the area of George municipality, and George municipality responded immediately to help people that were trapped. And obviously, the Department of Labor played a critical role, and other national departments also played a critical role. We then assisted the municipality to respond to some of the costs in relation to the George collapse building. And my understanding, they've actually, as a contribution, have paid to help excavating the George, the building that has collapsed. So the 2.5 million, Chairperson, just in relation to the question of Honourable Member Stoffel, was not necessarily to assist with the investigation, to pay a service provider with the investigation. The Premier and I think the Department of Infrastructure in this province, I think the province wanted to do its own investigation into the George collapse building, because George, the municipality, if they had done and I assume they have done their own investigation, it would have been seen not objective. And that's why, under the guidance of the Premier, then decided, but we must have, as a province, we must have our own investigation into it, independent. And I think that was facilitated by the Department of Infrastructure in the province. I'm not aware of the cost. And at this stage, I think there was preliminary feedback on the progress of that investigation. But the 2.5 million wasn't necessary for a service provider to pay for the investigation. It was, the province has done its own, independent by the Department of Infrastructure. I perhaps just ask Bhavna just to respond on the compensation of employers in relation to the CDW. So I think just on the member Masipo is, I think the corporate service is not being compromised. So if there are funds available either through savings or given the recruitment, the lengthy times about the recruitment and selection process, we actually asked the provincial treasury, can we use that funding to compensate for pressures elsewhere in the organization on the budget? And at this stage, given the savings and given, particularly in relation to COE, I think the provincial treasury has agreed to shift that funding, given the pressure by CDWs, given the pressure on the cost of living adjustments last year, which was not funded for provinces. And I think we used some of the funding by the CDWs to compensate and to balance the budget. And in this round, Chairperson, we have just put that funding back to CDWs to actually balance that. But I can ask Bhavna maybe to elaborate more, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CFO. Over to you.
Thank you very much. So the reason that we needed to put money into the COE on the CDWs is when we balance the budget, we have to account for a level of attrition within the department in terms of staff leaving for various reasons or exiting for various reasons. In our department, it's anything between 8 and 12 million, 8 to 12%. And CDW have the largest composition of staff. So it's the easiest place to be able to place the attrition and then offset whatever it is the actual cost is of the employees that we have at a point in time, which is then at the adjustments estimate. The reason that we needed to have such a big amount go in this year is because, as the HOD has alluded to already, the ICS needed to have been absorbed from last year where National didn't give us any of the funding, and it goes into the whole MTF. So that's the reason that it's quite large. But if I may also offer another just a clarification on the 3 million that's showing on the first page, which is the decrease, and the 7 million that we got back. So the reason for it is that we actually surrendered 10 million rand. And the difference between the 10 and the 7 that was given back to us is the 3 that is now being decreased in the budget. So that is the technical explanation.
Thank you. Honorable members, we exhausted page 353 to 355. Are there any hands for follow-up? Honorable Mare, I see your hand. Honorable
Thank you very much.
Are you also, apologies, Honorable Mare. Honorable Stoffer, are you raising your hand?
Yes, Chair. Yes, Chair. Sorry, I'm driving, Chair. Sorry, bear with me.
Okay. Honorable Mare, and followed by Honorable Stoffer.
Thank you. I would like to thank the HOD for the response regarding the George building collapse and the funding, explaining that to us. Just for the record, I would like to state that I personally feel that there's a lack of transparency in terms of this particular funding that's being made as a contribution to the George municipality for the management of the George building collapse. And I believe it goes against what the values of the department or the provincial government in terms of value for money. When we spend money, we want to know in terms of the value that we are getting for the money we have spent. Now, if we did not receive a report on the status or receive anything from the municipality in terms of what this 2.5 million rand is specifically going to be used for, then I'm not happy about this particular amount of money that's being spent. The building is standing there. I don't think it's an urgent matter. There's no one's life now currently being risked, and I don't think it's a priority. But Chair, I will leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mare. Over to Honorable Stopper. I see the minister's hand is up. Minister, are you going to respond to this one in particular, or is there something urgent that you just want to state?
I think I want to respond to this very quickly, Honourable Chair, to Honourable Mare. Let me just explain. When you arrive on a site like in George, the building collapse site, our first response is to go into a rescue mode, to rescue people. Now, on a site like that, you've got the international norm, 72 hours. You must get people out, otherwise you're going to start to move into a recovery phase. Now, there's also international standards that will take you up to 100 hours, hopefully. So you keep hopeful, because there's also a lot of families standing and waiting, so you don't want to demoralize them. We do have in this department, and we do have in City of Cape Town and in the rest of some of our big municipalities, rescue equipment, the right equipment, etc. But standing while we're busy in rescue phase, we realize we sit with over 3 million tons of concrete that needs to be removed, and that at a certain stage we will need to move over to demolition. We try to stretch it out, because you work with emotions, and to go into the demolition phase, we don't have demolition equipment, so we had to get it in. That deal was a deal of more or less 5 million rand to get demolition equipment from Cape Town to come there, to come to George and to help. And we said to the municipality, we will go half with them to support, to get to the bodies that we haven't been able to rescue. And that's the basis of this one. The investigation that Public Works is doing will come at the right time, because this is sensitive information, it's difficult information, it's information that will be challenged in courts, because 34 people died and 32 people attempted murder cases. So this is a big case, and for us as a province, we're very serious. We want to get to the bottom of it. Our big frustration currently is that we're the only state departments doing this. The province, we had our engineers on site, and so forth. We would appreciate this report from SAPS, a report from Labour, a report from NSPRC, so that you can then join this and get this into the courts. It seems like we're the only one who's going to have a report, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks, the Premier will get the final report. But we must accept that report will be.
I think we lost you, Minister. You might have to switch to your mobile. Minister? Colleagues, we lost the minister, but I think we've got the gist.
Yeah, sorry, my apology. My computer is just kicking me out. The gist is that we will get the report. When the final report is there, when the time is right, we will present it. But there's huge legal consequences.
Thank you, Minister. I've got two hands. Honorable Stopper, you are next, and followed by Honorable Constable. Thank you, Honorable Stopper.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, yes, I've heard what the MEC have explained in terms of the 2.5 million assisted by the Premier's office. But the person would also ask the question, why so much money? Whilst you've got also a department under the Premier's office that you called the Children's Commission that don't even receive a cent from the Premier's office, or let's say limited funds from the Premier's office. Whilst it's such an important component, so therefore I would say yes, he assisted there, but I would wish he will also keep that consistency in terms of assisting also the other departments equally so. So then, Chair, I'm not sure whether you have said we will do from page 353 to which page, Chair? So because I've got a question also from 357, so I'm not sure whether it's included there, that page. Can you assist me there, Chair?
Honorable Member, you can sponsor that question, and then we move to Honorable Constable. Thank you.
All right, Chair. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chair, my question is on page 357, the sub-programs of municipal administration. It reads as follows: reprioritization of funds allocated for capacity building and support to municipalities in the execution of their roles. Yes, and responsibilities posed to 2021 local government elections. So, Chair, we have noted that an amount of 1.4 million has been reprioritized for the appointment of designated investigators in terms of Section 16 of the Municipality System Act. Could you provide further details on this, specifically the reasons for the need for additional Section 106 investigations, and which municipalities are being targeted? Additionally, so, Chair, why is the department refusing to initiate a Section 106 investigation into the city of Cape Town, given the former MMC is facing court charges for fraud, corruption, and alleged connection with the construction mafia? Have these links between the city and the construction mafia been thoroughly investigated? If so, could you provide the relevant details? If not, what is the rationale behind not instituting a Section 106 investigation in these cases? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffel. Honorable Constable, your hand has been up for a long while.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I appreciate the opportunity. Chairperson, I made a statement when we started here with this Parliament, and asking a question specifically with regards to the targeting of municipalities that is not governed by the DA. And I want to emphasize, and I want to add my voice of displeasure to members Mare and member Stoffels. We really need to get detail on where this investigations, the reluctance of province with regards to the Matsikamo Section 106 is, for me, something that the MEC and his department needs to look into. Why are we having a Section 106 and we don't want to act? We can't say that this is the municipality or the council that needs to act. In other municipalities, the MEC and his department goes in and they deal harshly with councillors and they deal harshly with the administration. So for me, with regards to the George 2.5, we need to get more detail. We need to get the business plans that they use, this department use to gather the funds, and we need to get the outcomes with regards to that. And also to what Member Stoffels is saying, give us detail on this investigations. And again, MEC and Chairperson, if you look at the trend of this department, just before local government elections, there's Section 106 on municipalities that is not governed, and there's a trend, and we can show that trend. So give us the details, show us the municipalities, and then we can deliberate in our next standing committee with regards to this. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, I just want to caution that I think you did indicate, Honorable Stoffel, with regards to time, because I'm just worried that some of the deliberations that you are putting through, we can definitely have them in committee meeting instead of really taking time out of this very important report that is before us. I'm just worried that we're going to run out of time, but I was hoping that we can really engage thoroughly on this report. And I'm not saying that your point, Honorable Constable, are not valid, but I just thought that we did indicate that we've got a problem of time, And obviously, we will take it within our committees. And luckily, the chief will be here as well for programming to really maybe take the matters like this to the programming authority so that we are able to have. But Honorable Stoffer, I'm going to hand over to the Minister and the HOD to respond, and I will take your hand after this. Thank you. Minister and HOD, over to you.
Yeah, Chairperson, if I can ask that we must speak to the adjustment budget, and then the question on the 106, the members put a question in, and the date for reply is tomorrow. So they will get a reply on the 106s that we're busy with. It's quite comprehensive, and we will deal with it, and they will get the answer tomorrow.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I see Magdalene also want to maybe answer. I mean, sorry, wants to.
Sorry, Chair, that's I've shifted laptops because mine one is cutting out also. I'm in the Magdalene Giesers one.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Honorable Stoffer, over to you. Can I really once again appeal to honorable members? Let's really stick to adjustment budget as presented before us. Honorable Stoffer.
Thank you, Chairperson. Am I still audible?
You are audible. Everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, this one is not a question. This is only an extreme concern, Chair. Chair, I have noted other committees, and I want this to be put on record. We are chairing, Chair, one of the most important committees in the province. And in terms of time, to allocate this committee 1.5 hours, whilst other committees got 4 hours, 3 hours, and what is the rush in this committee? Because we are dealing here with livelihoods of people, and we have been constantly suppressed by yourself, Chair, and we are not going to allow that. We want to express our views in this committee, and as far as I'm concerned, Chair, we are talking about the adjustment budget. And don't suppress us, Chair. And I want this to register through you to the MEC. MEC, I want you to take note what I'm registering, and I hope in future you will work on that. Thank you, MEC, with due respect. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffer. So there's no question. Can we go to page 358 to 359? Are there any matters arising or questions regarding the question? Just before I recognize the hands, I must also correct Honorable Stoffer that Honorable Stoffer, all committees have been allocated 1.5 hours to debate on the appropriation. So it's no committee that has been given 3 or 4 hours to deliberate. I've got also Honorable, don't see him here anymore, but we have got our colleague, Honorable Boyson, who is sitting in other committees. Is also here. He's been allocated, he's chairing another committee. It's been allocated 1.5 hours. So there is no committee that has been allocated 3 hours, and no separation from the chair as well, honorable members. Colleagues, can we move to 358 to 359? Any question arising from there? Once, going twice.
Yes, Chair. Yes, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Stoffer.
Yes, Chair. Let me just get my things together. Chair, it's on page 360.
Okay, so you find with page 358 and 359. So we move to 360. Thank you. It's your opportunity to ask a question.
Program 3, Chair, on page 360, development and planning. Chair, it reads like follows: 1.4 million surrendered to the Provincial Revenue Fund relating to energy for appointment of additional capacity within the department. My question is, or my understanding is it that the department has failed to spend just under 5 million of its energy response. Is this correct? And what are the reasons for the failure to spend? Why are these funds surrendered and not rolled over? I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffel. HOD or the Minister, are you back? Minister?
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. So it's Honorable Chairperson, members, it's not necessarily 5 million, but it's 1.4 million. Marius is on the platform, so I can also ask Marius to elaborate. So there's a number of provincial departments that got funding in terms of the energy resilience, and we've also got funding to strengthen our own internal capacity to get what we call energy engineers, or otherwise electrical engineers in the department. We had some appointed, and so the balance of that is 1.4. And Chairperson, unfortunately, that is earmarked funding, so it's for a particular purpose. We can ask Treasury to use it for a different purpose, but that's earmarked funding for it. That 1.4 million. So it's not necessarily 5 million. And that is to help with the energy resilience strategy that the province has adopted. I can just ask Marius perhaps to elaborate, and Bhavna, if you also can assist, please. But Marius is on the platform. Marius?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you, HOD. So the main reason for this saving is due to problems that we experience with the recruitment and selection process of especially people within the OSD category. Those are people registered with the professional bodies. So we started our process well in time, but there's always problems in trying to fill these posts within time. So the saving there is just the amount that we couldn't pay out the salaries due to the fact that we only appointed these colleagues later than initially anticipated.
Thank you, Marius and HOD. Colleagues, we move to page 361.
Sorry, Chairperson, I see Bhavna has also hands raised.
Oh, sorry, Finance Officer.
Thank you, Chair. So the reason for the underspend is the earmark money has to be surrendered. The reason we have the 1.4 on the COE is because Marius couldn't conclude recruitment. So you can't pay for salaries that you haven't made appointments on. And then the 3 million on the energy service providers actually deferred into next financial year. So we can't do a rollover of it because we haven't appointed anyone yet. So what we've done is we've asked the Provincial Treasury to take the money from this year, and that's part of the 10 mil that we surrendered. And they're going to give us back the 3 million towards the appointment of the energy service provider. We've started, or we're going to embark on a new supply chain process shortly. We are in the process of cancelling the previous one. There was a little challenge on the spec that service providers had indicated. And so as a result, we've asked for the money to be deferred into the new financial year. So we don't lose the money. It will still go into the project, but just in a different year. Thanks.
Thank you for the explanation. Honorable members, we move to page 361, 362. Are there any matters that colleagues want clarity on? Once, going twice, no hands. We are now on 362, 363 in your blue book. talks about the expenditure trends and actual analysis of financial year 2023-2024. Are there any questions from honorable members? Once, going twice, members are happy. The next page is 364, 365, which is summary of receipts, as well as statement of gifts, donations, sponsorship, received, and grant or granted. Members, are there any hands?
Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Chair.
Honorable Stocker, yes.
Chair, I was not with you now in terms of, I'm sorry for this. I'm really sorry for this. I just want to check with you, through you, to the CFO. Is the CFO saying that money is going to send back and been reallocated for the new budget, for the new year? What is he saying on the question of the energy? I don't hear correctly. I'm sorry, Chair, because you are running with us in this meeting, and I'm not going to allow that. I want to be clear, because I've tried to raise my hand, so I'm sorry, Chair. I want to be clear.
So you can't raise your hands, that's the problem. So it's not me rushing. As CFO, the honorable member is asking for clarity with regards to your answer.
Thanks, Chair. So if we look at page 360, the explanation is on there, but 1.4 of the energy earmarked money has been surrendered, and that's towards the COE based on the lack of the ability to be able to recruit people. And then the 3 million on the energy service provider, that money has been deferred and will be given back to us in the new financial year, and we'll use it towards the exact same project for energy in the new financial year.
Honorable Stoffel, you got the answer. Honorable members, can we move? 364, 365. I see no hands. 366, summary of changes to transfer. Honorable Stoffels, on what page?
Chair, that is a legacy hand. That's a legacy hand. Chair.
Honorable Stoffel, from my side.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. Thank you for recognizing me.
Can you, just a second? Honorable Stoffel, your hand was not up at all.
Chair, you asked me, and am I be clarified?
Yes.
And I wanted to tell you, Chair, as much as the CFO have answered me, the CFO have also highlighted something new within her statement that was never been reported to the committee before, to say there is some challenges, and that challenges was never been reported to the committee. It's something new that we hear now. So can the CFO be clear with us as this committee? What challenges or what surprises is there within this money? Can she be very firm in terms of answering us, Chair?
Honorable members, I think the CFO has explained what really has been, what is contained in 360. What else do you want to be explained, Honorable Stoffel? Honorable Stoffel?
Chair, what is the challenges? Can she go deeper in these challenges? so that the committee can take note and assisting in terms of how do we address these challenges.
She has explained what were the challenges. They are documented. CFO, CFO, is there anything that you want, that you omitted to say?
Thanks, Chair. So I'm not sure if Member Stoffels is looking for the challenges related to the recruitment process or whether it's related to the procurement of the energy service provider. Either way, I think Marius would be best placed for it, but I'm going to attempt to answer and I'll do it in two parts. So related to the COE, Marius has gone out on numerous occasions trying to attract the relevant skill level that he requires to be able to make the appointments of the engineering capacity. And he's not been successful in it, so that's been a challenge. Part of it is related to the salary levels that the province and the government at large pays. So we're not actually able to attract and even retain the adequate skill level. And then related to the energy service provider, the procurement process had commenced at the beginning of the financial year. There was a compulsory briefing session a few weeks ago, or maybe about a month and a half ago. The energy service providers that attended the compulsory briefing session highlighted a few things that were not covered in the spec. So when we started to look at the spec together with the queries that the service providers had raised, if they were not material and they didn't exclude anyone in the broader context of the tender bulletin, we would have continued with the appointment. But because the SEM and the finance individuals had deemed it a material issue, we've had to cancel that bid and we're going to go out again on a new tender related to the appointment of the service provider. And that's the reason that the money is deferred over to the new financial year, because we will now increase the scope of work given the challenges or the things that the service providers have raised. So they're not challenges, Chair, as they, and I use the word perhaps incorrectly. What it is it's relating to the scope. So one of the things, as an example, Marius has got in his tenders that it needs to support renewable energy projects. But at this point, he doesn't know what those projects are. And because it's not a rate-based contract in its previous form, it's very difficult for service providers to be able to give him a pricing. And it's also dependent on the size of the municipality, the disbursement amounts, where the project is, and et cetera, et cetera. So ordinarily, these wouldn't form part of a material issue. But because we don't know what those projects are at this point in time and where they're based within the specific municipalities, it's considered a material non-compliance. And as a result, it will be re-advertised, taking all of those things into account.
Thank you, CFO. I think you have been very, very clear that the process is being followed, that is in place, and that these are not challenges, but it might have been the wrong ways that we used. Thank you for clarifying that. I see Honorable Boyson's hand is up. Hand is up.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'd like to make a proposal. I understand the volume of information and the questions that some of us are having. I'd like to propose, Chairperson, that for the sake of time, I know you are pressed for time. Nothing stops us as members when we deal with the resolutions, Chairperson, to bring in additional recommendations so that we can deal with it in the sitting of the committee meeting. I'm just thinking that we'll never be satisfied due to the time constraints, but we can then raise whatever we still find outstanding or more clarity on to deal with that when we deal with resolutions so that we don't run out of time, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Boyson, for your contribution. We do resolutions after every committee sitting. If there are outstanding matters that members are feeling that they need to be answered by either the minister or the department, they are welcome to contribute to those resolutions. Colleagues, let's move. I didn't see any hand for page 3, 64 to 65, 366, 367. Any hands? Are there any hands? Going once, going twice, there are no hands. 368 to 369 talks about local government and development and planning, table 14.83, which deals with the development and planning, and table 14.8.2, dealing with governance. See no hands. The last page, which is page 370, deals with the traditional institutional management. Are there any questions? I don't see any hands. Thank you very much, honorable members. I just want to use this opportunity to give the members of the public that might have any questions that they want to sponsor, if there are any members of the public on the platform. Johan, are there members of the public that have registered to be present today?
Thank you, Chairperson. No, I have got no record of any members of the public that's on the platform. We may proceed.
Thank you. I would now like to give the Minister and the HOD to put their closing remarks to the committee. Honorable Minister.
Yes, Marcel, thank you to the committee. Thank you for the interaction. And yeah, have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, HOD.
Chairperson, Honourable Chairperson, thank you very much. Firstly, I think for Minister for his guidance, appreciate it when we discuss this with him, and also about the participation in the Budget Policy Committee. Dubravna, Audrey, and the entire team that worked to put the budget together, obviously with the support of the program managers on the platform and the sub-program managers and all the other staff. I really appreciate it. And I mean, this is a culmination of the work that's been done over the last while in the organization. And Chairperson, for you and the honourable members for the oversight, for the questions, keeping us on our toes, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Really, from my side, on behalf of the committee, we just really like to thank you, Minister, and your department for working together with us. It's a new committee, and we're looking forward to working with you in the next year. And we wish you a safe festive. Those that are driving, please don't drink and drive, and be safe on the road. Thank you very much. You can be excused as we are going now to our part of the meeting, which is obviously consideration of the committee report on vote 14 in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2024. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, HOD and CFO.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Marius. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Johan, I will be assisted by you now going forward. We are now coming to the consideration of committee report on vote 14 in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2024. Johan, you mind flighting the
right, Chairperson, I'll get him on quickly. Chairperson, is it visible?
Yes, it's visible, but I see some funny stuff around it, but it's visible.
Not on my side, Chair.
Yeah.
I can see it, Mr. Chair. I can see the committee report.
Stoffel, as you're sitting right.
I can see it now. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Honorable members, the committee report, a report of the Standing Committee on Local Government, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning on vote 14, local government in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation Bill B2 2024 dated 28 November 2024.
Chairperson, yes. Apologies quickly. We have concluded the deliberation, Chair. I think it's just important that you pose the question to the committee whether they support the vote or not support the vote. And then thereafter, once that is indicated, you can put the report to the standing committee, just highlighting that the majority will carry the vote or the Chair. I think important to just ask the question to the standing committee whether they do support the vote before you put the report.
Honorable members, are there any hands for the support of the votes? Honorable Johnson, support. Del Vessel, support.
Not support.
Honorable Stoffel, don't support.
Chair, can I put it formally?
You are welcome.
Chair, as the African National Congress, we want to use Rule 90 as the registered minority vote. We don't support the budget. Thank you, Chair.
It will be noted in the report, Honorable Stoffel. Any other members?
Chairperson, it appears that
Honorable Boyson, I see Honorable Boyson's hands is up.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'd like to second the members who have indicated support of the vote. Thank you, Chair.
Noted. Thank you. Johan, you wanted, before you come, Honorable Constable.
Chair, I would also want to second the motion of Member Stoffels because of the following reasons. This report lacks information and transparency. Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Constable.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. It's so noted. You may, the support of, I see Member Grant is still also raising a hand. Yeah.
Member Grant.
Mr. Chair, I'd also like to raise, as I've raised my concern about the building collapse and the funds that's going there. So I would also like to reserve my vote on this matter.
Chairperson, Member Marie, you either support the vote or you don't support the vote. You can't reserve a view.
Yes, so then I do not
support the vote. Thank you, Chairperson. The support have it, and I think we may proceed with putting the report, and then I will register the non-support in terms of Rule 90 by the minority parties.
Chair, my hand is up.
Noted. So what's your...
Yes, Chair. Chair, I want to state my vote, Chair, in terms of not supporting the budget. Chair, the report itself don't indicate any plan of action. The department failed to come up with a proper plan how to deal with environmental issues within the province, especially in the appointment of an environmental commission. There is no attempt
Chairperson,
even
on
to
a
do
point
so.
of order.
I note your point of order,
Can I state
Honorable
my
Stoffel.
reasons, Chair?
Honorable
Can I state my
Stoffel.
reasons?
Honorable Stoffel, there's a point of order. Just hold on.
Hey, Chair.
Honorable Bosman.
Chairperson, the committee has expressed its view to support the vote, and there will be an opportunity for members to engage on the budget during the second reading debate, as well as during the individual budget votes. The opportunity for the members to state their opposition or to state the reasons for why they support. That's the opportunity, Chair. That information is not included in this report that needs to go to the Budget Committee. This is a technical report indicating the preference of the committee to support and for parties to use Rule 90 to state their minority view. We don't include the motivation, because that's why we have the second reading debate, and that's why we have the individual budget debates. We have 90 minutes on Tuesday for this debate, and then on the Thursday and Friday, there'll be an hour per vote for this deliberations to take place.
Thank you, Honorable Bosman. The point of order is sustained. So you will have the opportunity, honorable members, to debate this report thoroughly in the House. Thank you. Honorable Constable, is you raising your hand on something different to this report?
Just clarity and from the procedural officer. We are on this platform and in this committee at the moment. We are permanent members and we are non-permanent members. How do we decide who carry the vote? Does non-permanent members also vote in this committee? And please put it on record so that we understand next time how to vote. Thank you, Chairperson.
Johan?
Chairperson, that's correct. Our standing committees are open to all members of the Western Cape Provincial Parliament. However, when we do have to decide on a question or motion in front of the committee, the permanent members will then be able to vote on the matter. If there are a member that's standing officially in for another member, that member will then have the vote. In this case, we have got a full house, and Member Gillian that's standing in for Member Bryant. So, and they have all indicated, that they support the vote. The members that did not support the vote is also permanent members, and that will be reflected in the report as such.
Thank you. I hope you are answered, Honorable Stoffel. Honorable Constable, Honorable Stoffel, I see your hand is up. Okay.
Chairperson, in terms of that rule, I differ with the procedural officer. I differ with him. An alternate can debate, he can participate, but he cannot vote. Remember, within your committee, Chair, in the agriculture, you have mentioned that. Why today we are experiencing something else?
Chairperson, but that's what I said. They can participate, they can, but they cannot vote.
That's exactly what Johan said. I don't know what members is talking about.
Any alternate member can express an opinion, Chair, in the committee meeting.
Yes. Okay, members, let's move. We are left with, we need to go to our resolutions.
Chairperson?
Yes, yes.
Can I have a follow-up, because this thing is now very confusing. The explanation was not correct, and that's why I need it on record. We voted here, but I haven't heard who is voting for and who is voting against. I need the numbers so that it can reflect in the report and on record. Who is the members, the permanent members that is voting for the vote, and who is the members of voting against? How many and how many? That is what I want to hear, and that is what I want us to put on record here. Thank you, Chairperson.
Noted, Honorable Constable. We are getting there, but I see Honorable Gillian is also Bosman send this up.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, just in terms of procedure, the Chairperson put the question to the committee whether the committee supports or whether the committee does not support. The members indicated support, and then there were members who indicated their opposition.
Yeah.
So that is the process. We don't have to keep a tally of the vote for the purposes of this report, and in terms of our standing rules. That is the process we follow when it comes to these budget votes. So there was, if my memory is correct, you posed the question, and Member Wessels indicated support on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, and that was supported by members of the Democratic Alliance. Member Stoffel then indicated that she would like to express a minority view, to which Member Constable also wanted that to be adopted. So in my understanding, Chairperson, the report now needs to be put to the committee, whether the members support the report as it is on the screen.
The question has been put to members. Thank you, Honorable Bosman. The question has been put to the members, and the members have indicated their support. The ones who has indicated their support have it, and the ones who are against, they have been noted as a minority vote as such. I don't think there is any need for further clarity. Johan, do you want to comment in terms of this question?
Chairperson, maybe just to move forward, the votes for support of the vote is Member Masipa, Member Wessels, Member Johnson, Member Bosman. The vote for against the vote, and which will be documented in the report, is Member Stoffels, Member Marais, and Member Constable. Those are the permanent members that's on the Standing Committee of Local Government and Environmental Affairs. Check.
Thank you, Johan. The support has it. Honorable members, I see the hands are still up. Stoffel, is that legacy hand, Constable?
No, it's not a legacy hand, Chair. Chair, Honorable Bosman have raised to say there's a standing rule. Can he indicate to us which rule is that? And then also I wanted to thank the officer Kutsie for explaining this to us, because to us it's important. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Constable.
Chair, I'm covered. Yeah, let me not say anything now. I will look at the rules for my own opinion, and then I will also check on the validity of the people who are permanent members on this committee, because this is now very confusing for me, and I will, but let me not say anything now further. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I think it's very important that we are fair with the rules of the House, so that when we participate here, we don't really come here to be really asking about the rules, and we are able to participate meaningfully. Honorable Gillian Bosman, if you would want to comment on Honorable Stoffel, because we need to move on. We are left with only 2 minutes. I don't think that we have got time. Honorable members, allow me to read the report of the Standing Committee on Local Government and Environmental Affairs and Development Planning on vote 14, local government, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill B2 2024, dated 28 November 2024, as follows. The Standing Committee on Local Government, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning have deliberated on the subject of local government in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation Bill B2 2024, referred to the committee in accordance with Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. Johan, you want to come down? In accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress, Patriotic Alliance, and Freedom Front Plus expressed their minority view that it does not support the vote. I thank you, honorable members. That closed the report. So the yes have it. We come into resolutions. Are there any resolution that members would want to note? Going once, going twice, I don't see hands. Honorable members, I just want to say really, Honorable Stoffer.
Chairperson, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Chair, as in our previous standing committees sittings, there was an indication, Chair, of this committee's work and oversight work. Chair, there's a lot of resolutions been taken about this in this committee, and office Chair, a lot of this work, yes, I agree on the oversight we have implemented, but in terms of the various municipalities, we are still sitting with a lot of environmental issues. And office as this committee, I think we should really strengthen on these issues per municipality, reported to the province, all the environmental issues, so that this committee can take it up. Thank you, Chair.
Johan, you have noted the resolution.
Chairperson, those are resolutions that has been taken. I don't know if I should now take it down again. You know, we're now duplicating resolutions on previous committees, and we just still haven't had a chance to deal with it. But I note Member Stoffel's comment. Yes.
Thank you, Johan. Honorable Constable.
Chairperson, thank you. Can I ask that this report with the names who vote for and vote against comes to our next standing committee as a resolution? The confusion is with me. I heard that Mr. Kuchia mentioned that member Bosman is part of this committee or an alternate member, but I can't find his name on the committee according to what I have in front of me. But as a resolution, can we then bring this and all the members of this committee also as part of a discussion? Thank you, Chair.
Noted. Honorable members, that brings us to the end of this debate. So what's going to happen is that we will have the opportunity in the House to engage robustly with regards to this particular report. The meeting as such is adjourned, and we are going to move next meeting, which is a budget meeting, which